February 18th, 1960. Weeks of rain have flooded the valley, and as hordes of hooded spectators gather at Blythe Arena for the opening ceremonies, the rain turns to snow, obliterating race courses and parking lots in Squaw Valley. With all the 665 competitors from 31 nations assembled and the games declared open, Andrea Meade Lawrence skied down Red Dog, carrying the Olympic torch. Then, as if choreographed by Walt Disney, who was chairman of pageantry, which included opening, closing, and daily victory ceremonies, the sun broke through the clouds, and 2,000 doves of peace and 20,000 balloons took flight into a blue sky. When the 8th Olympic Winter Games came to a close, skiing in California and the West was forever changed, as it catapulted the region into international stardom. Pioneer resort owners improved their facilities, and new ones were developed. Today, the Tahoe area has the highest concentrations of ski areas and winter sports facilities in the Western Hemisphere. And the area has produced more Winter Olympians and World Cup athletes than any region in the USA. Yet we remain the only Olympic site in the world without an Olympic museum.
I think it's really important as a former Olympian to continue to try to give back and share the legacy of the Olympics. It's such an amazing event every 4 years, and it's such a great goal to have as a young athlete, whether you're going to make it or not. So being an ambassador for the Snow Museum, to me, is a good way just to share what I've done and hopefully inspire the future generation.
Every morning when I drove into the valley, I would pass the Olympic torch and the Olympic rings. And just the history of all the people that came before me kind of set the stage and opened up so many doors to be doing what I'm doing now. So having a place to remember all of the things that have come before us and then inspire the next generation to follow in our footsteps, and it's just gonna be a really cool place to kind of celebrate our region.
So we have to lay a trail to let them know about what happened in the past and why we have what we have now. We live in the Mecca of Western Sierras, of sports, of the sports skiing, and that is critical that we maintain that. I love the concept of the Snow Museum. I think you don't realize how much importance there is to maintaining the history of what has passed. We grow up so fast, and then all of a sudden we start remembering, and we hope that people, as they come along the same path that we have come, will have the same memories that we have.
First, the Washoe. For thousands of years, the Washoe people ventured up from Carson Valley to Lake Tahoe to hunt and fish in the surrounding mountains and meadows. In 1844, John C. Fremont, while on a map-making expedition, admired their ability to travel on hand-hewn snowshoes. Out of respect for the Washoe women, who spent their summers in what became known as Squaw Valley, the name of the ski area was changed to Palisades, Tahoe in 2021. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Sierra Nevada mountains in the 1850s, pioneer mining families living in the snowbound communities of Plumas and Sierra counties traveled on longboard skis to school, to visit neighbors, to haul supplies. Doctors skied to remote areas to repair injuries and deliver babies. And in 1852, the legendary Snowshoe Thompson began carrying the U.S. mail from Placerville, California, over the mountains to Genoa, Nevada. Inevitably, downhill ski competitions became a major form of exercise and entertainment, with competitors exceeding 80 miles per hour as they raced downhill, often four abreast on 14-foot skis at La Porte in Plumas County and Alturas in Modoc County. In the late 1800s, as gold mining gave way to silver and the first transcontinental railroad crossed the Sierra, Californians began to travel to the snow on excursion trains to Cisco Grove, where Auburn Ski Club built a warming hut, added a ski jump and rope tows. Class A jumping meets were held at the popular resort throughout the 1930s. Soon, Truckee, California would become the center of ski attractions, with the Snowball Express bringing hundreds of tourists to ice carnivals and winter festivals. Jumping competitions were held on an open slope across the river where sledding, skating, and tobogganing were popular sports. Ironically, it was the 1931 Olympic tryouts and 1932 National Ski Tournament held at Grand Labakan on Olympic Hill in Tahoe City that opened the eyes of the skiing public to California's abundance of snow, scenery, and fine weather.
We're here at the Interim Snow Sports Museum in Tahoe City. The 1960 Winter Olympics were an Olympics like no other, and there were a number of firsts. It became the model for subsequent Winter Games that came afterward. For example, it was the first time that an athletes' village was built to house all the athletes and to demonstrate to the world how rivals could socialize and get along together and provide a model for the rest of the world to follow. Significantly, these Olympics helped kickstart the Western ski sports industry, resulting in the diverse and vibrant winter sports economy we have today.
From the Washoe to the Gold Rush, longboard racing to alpine and Nordic competition to the 1960 Olympics, to the ensuing development of ski resorts in California and Nevada, no one doubts that the history of skiing in the Sierra Nevada is exciting, colorful, and an important part of our Western culture. But where can one see it, touch it, learn about it? The idea of a museum to commemorate the seminal events of the 1960 Olympics and the Sierra Nevada's unique legacy of 150 years of winter sports has been in the hearts and minds of the skiing community for over 60 years. Auburn Ski Club's Western Ski Sport Museum on Donner Summit is seeking a new location for its archives that date back to the 1850s. With a world-class collection of California ski history recognized by the U.S. Ski Hall of Fame, this collection needs to be organized and displayed in a modern facility. Accessible to skiers, students, historians, and visitors from around the world.
Hi, I'm Peter Pfau, principal in charge from Perkins & Will. The building fits into the natural landscape when you experience it from Highway 89, and really will create kind of a gateway experience to all the ski resorts in the area. There'll also be a visitor center there. Significantly, stewardship is important to us, so the building will feature sustainable design features. It will have a mass timber construction, which has both low carbon and natural beauty. The experience inside the museum will include the collection of artifacts, as well as the 1960 Olympic history and an area for changing exhibitions. There'll also be a flexible space that will be for films, lectures, can be used as a classroom or community events that will supplement the programs there.
Hi, I'm Marco Sancinas, project architect from Perkins & Will. The Future Snow Museum will be located in the community park at the entrance to Olympic Valley. The site is a former rock quarry and offers up some interesting grade conditions that we hope to take advantage of. The entry of the museum will be from the park's parking area. This west-facing elevation is uphill from the rest of the project site, which allows us to design a lower-scale, more intimate entry facade. As the site slopes down to the east towards Highway 89, the roof slopes upward. This vertical expansion will house 2 levels of display spaces in 2 wings.
The museum is really going to end up being a must-visit experience for the Valley, for people to go connect with this world-class collection of artifacts, to understand the history and evolution of ski resorts in the area, and to connect with all the amazing personalities who have been part of the Sierra ski experience.
The Snow Museum will be more than the amazing story of the 1960 Olympics. It'll bring together the heritage and legacy that dates all the way back to the gold rush, when the miners brought knowledge of skis to the hike camps and began the longboard culture. It'll bring together private collections, small museum collections, all that can be curated, archived, and exhibited for today's skiers and snowboarders. It'll also preserve what has yet to become, which is the future of our sport, because this is an ongoing history and culture of winter sports in our region.